Okay, here we are, another story from the old days, Las Vegas casinos. When I first got to Vegas, the casinos were run by mostly people from Steubenville, Ohio, New York. They were all Caucasian Americans of Mediterranean descent, honorable people. They were just here to make a buck. It was just about the money. It was just business, professional business, and they acted professional, not like the jokers in charge today. But that's a whole different story. And most all the shift bosses, when I first got to town, they had a percentage in the casino itself. They used to call it points, like a shift boss would have points, and one point is a percentage. Most of the time, they had to buy into these positions, or they had to have, they had juice. Juice is who do you know? And one story I have is a casino owner I had met. He told me a story of how it worked when he first got to town. He had got here a long, long time before I did. And when he told me this story, he was half retired. But he owned a casino downtown. He was with the boys, and here's how the story went, he told me. He went to all the casinos downtown. He'd go into all the casinos that his boss controlled, and he picked up an envelope. And he put this in every month there was money in the envelope, and eventually the money would get transferred to a suitcase, or depending on how much it was. But here's the deal. This casino owner that I knew, by trade, he was a barber. He cut hair back east. So he was a pretty good barber. But when he came to Vegas, he knew people. He ended up owning the casino. So the way it worked is every month he would pick up these skim money from the casinos. And then he would drive to Palm Springs. And in Palm Springs is where the big boss lived. And every month, this gentleman would cut the big boss's hair. Like clockwork, this happened every month. He would cut the big boss's hair, and of course the money was dropped off. And that's how some of the skim money got to Palm Springs from the downtown casinos. It was all about money. Nothing personal, just about money. These guys, they've been portrayed badly in lots of movies. But Vegas was a sweet deal here. And they tried to keep a low, profile, and they treated people right. When you came to Vegas, you were treated right. Today, you walk on the strip, it's an embarrassment. The people coming to Vegas today, it's just beyond embarrassing. But, good things don't last forever. And when you came to Vegas, when you wanted to get a job in Vegas, most people came to Vegas. They wanted to deal in the casinos, be a casino dealer, because it's 118 degrees outside. Nobody wants to work outside, so you want to be a dealer inside the cool, fresh air. And the way you did that is you went to dealer school. You learned how to deal. But the interesting part of back then is once you knew how to deal, there was no human resources. You went right into the casino. You asked to talk to the shift boss. You shook his hand. You said, "Hey, I'd like to audition for dealing craps." And if the shift boss, he'd look you over. If he needed somebody, he put you on the table. And he auditioned, and you were on the table for 5-10 minutes, or however long it took him to evaluate your skills. And that's what you did. You auditioned for the job. And it doesn't take but maybe 5-10 minutes. You put somebody on a crap table, you know if they can deal the game or not. And then the shift boss says, "Yeah, you're pretty good." You go over there and this office, I forget the name, employee office. Just pick up an application, fill it out, and bring it back to me. So you went over to the office, and you filled out the application, you brought it back to the shift boss, and then that's how it was hired. Not like today where you got to go to human resources. They got to do credit checks on you, and it's all to keep you a slave. The whole system today is designed to keep you a slave. It's amazing how the country's fallen apart. We do need to go back to the old days. The old days were run smoothly in just about everything. Before Kennedy was killed, America had some common sense. It seems like the Kennedy assassination is the marker where the country just fell apart. Power got transferred to a whole new group of people, the people who killed Kennedy. That's when those people took over the country. Everybody was just turned into a slave, or that's the agenda. The agenda is to turn you into a slave through regulations but you let the casino owners and the owners run the casinos like they're supposed to, and they make money. You put these corporations, hedge funds in charge of casinos today. What do? They borrow $22 million. They borrow $25 billion, and they go out of business. Everybody loses their job. So no, the old way is the best way. But just another story of how the skim money got to Palm Springs. I thought it was an interesting story. And maybe in the future we'll pop in a few more stories on the pioneers of Las Vegas. They were honorable people. Honorable, stand-up people. Not like the skirts running the town today.